recently, there has been an increase in drug abuse and drug overdose in the music industry. Eminem makes a great example because he has history of both drug abuse and drug overdose. I have followed Eminem throughout my entire life, starting when I was in the 4th grade of 2008, through songs that he's written and sung, through videos about him and articles written upon him. In the songs that he's rapped about and sung, he talks about his mother's addiction to pills, and then he talks about how he developed an addiction to pills that developed in 10 years of being sober. Before reaching the top of the ladder, known as the rap god as he is known today, Eminem has experienced a very rough life. In the beginning of his life, Deborah Mathers, his mother, raised him as a single parent who was unemployed. His father left him while he was still an infant, and his mother struggled to get jobs. She moved back and forth from house to house, trailer park to trailer park, and state to state. In the songs My Mom and Cleaning Out My Closet, Eminem talks about her drug addiction. He also talks about how his 8-year-old brother, Nate Mathers, was taken away from school because of the abuse his mother experienced with him. Like other rappers that live through poverty and single-parent homes, Eminem's drugs got worse and worse. As his career takes off in the late 1990s, drugs became a very bad experience. According to Josh Ailes in a Rolling Stone interview, Eminem states, "I was probably in my early 20s before I even kicked back my first beer." This is an example of how Eminem remained drug-free until his career. Around 1999, his career was very well rounded. He produced his first album, and the parties introduced drugs into his life more and more. At first, he says the parties were just fun and drugs, and then he says that the drugs became even worse after proof his best friend died in 2006. Even later that year, he and his wife, Kim Mathers, divorced for the second time. He expresses all the depression and pain that he experienced through this divorce. He was no longer able to see his daughter Haley and his other daughter Lainey. And he keeps taking drugs. In the year of 2007, he cancels his D12 tour. D12 is a group that he had of rapping. 2 weeks later, after entering rehab, he relapses. He begins to take larger doses of Valium and Ambien and says that he's taken around 5 pills an hour, reaching 40 to 60 pills a day. He takes them to go to sleep. He takes them to relieve the pain of mental illnesses, and every time he wakes up, he takes one every hour. In 2007, he overdoses on methadone pills. He says that the Valium and Ambien were no longer working after taking 5 to 6 pills an hour a day. So his drug dealer introduced him to methadone pills. After taking about 12 methadone pills, he overdoses and collapses in his bathroom. When he reaches the hospital, he goes into surgery, and they give him pain medications. The pain medications make him relapse over and over again because the doctors are prescribing him with even more pills. He doesn't realize the danger that his life is in by taking so many pills every day. So he continues to take them. It isn't until he sees his daughter when he comes out of the hospital for like the 10th time that he realizes that he really needs to sober up. he finally sobers up and has enjoyed spending time with his children. Since April 2018, Eminem is 10 years sober. He struggled with his mother's addiction, his own addiction, and difficulties of sobering himself. He has shed light upon upcoming rappers that have difficulties with overdosing, drug abuse, like Mac Miller, who just died, Lil Peep that just died, and Demi Lovato, who has currently overdosed on cocaine.
How many minutes you get?
She got about like 5 minutes and 40 seconds. So I got 20 seconds left.
I thought it was longer than that.
Is it still playing?
No, it's